Well, good morning, everyone. Here from a sort of showery day here in northern Kentucky. I wanted to show you something that's really exciting. I have a couple of special guests with me today too. If you look in the background here, you see quite a number of buses that are here. September actually is going to be the biggest month of the year for us for bus tours, and we have people just pouring into the Creation Museum in the Ark. And new station alert has arrived. Let me turn my phone down. And that's because it's going to shower. You can see the shower coming across here. Okay, we've got to get this done quickly. I have here with me one of our founders with us for the ministry, Mark Loy, and also Nancy. And Nancy is involved in sales and promotions for the attractions.
Yes.
And so what we're going to do is we're just going to walk down here and walk through these buses and have a little chat as we do that. So first of all, Mark, you hear the same old, tired old stuff from the secularists and the secular media that nothing much is happening at the Ark and the Creation Museum and it's not having any impact on the place and whatever. You attend Chamber of Commerce meetings and you're on the board, aren't you, of the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Northern Kentucky. Tell us what people are saying. What are the businesses saying, the hotels saying? Tell us what the talk is of the town.
In fact, the reason I'm dressed up this morning with the tie has nothing to do... Where's the camera? Oh, there you are. I didn't know I was going to be doing Facebook this morning with you, but I was at a civic breakfast this morning where I meet with elected officials, business owners, community leaders, and to a person, if they're involved in any way in catering to tourists coming from around the area, they say they've seen a boom in business because of the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum. And so we have contributed greatly to regional economy from hotels, restaurants, riverboats, and other attractions in the area, Ken.
I think one of the unique aspects of the Ark Encounter and the Creation Museum is that most of our visitors come from outside of Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. And that's different to regional attractions that tend to get mainly people from within, like the tri-state area and school buses and so on, whereas we have buses coming from all across America and people just pouring in here, and that impacts the local economy in a really positive way because they stay in hotels, and I know occupancy is way up, isn't it? What have you heard from the hotel owners?
Well, to give you an anecdote from yesterday, friends drove in all the way from Boise, Idaho, and they thought, now this is September, there's going to be plenty of hotel rooms available. They had to check a number of hotels in northern Kentucky. They ended up getting a hotel room that was a suite. That was the only room that was available within a several mile radius. But many of the hotels, and I know a lot of the hotel managers and owners in the area, many of them are saying that their increase has been about 20% this last year because they can attribute it directly to the Ark and the Creation Museum.
And we have with us as well Nancy here. And so, Nancy, you take the phone calls here for groups. Let's walk down through some of these buses that are here at the Creation Museum today. These are just some of them, but we'll sort of walk down through here and discuss this. So what's happening with our customer service and people calling in? Are we getting much interest in the Ark and the Creation Museum?
Oh my goodness, we have calls that have been coming in for the past at least 6 months in regards to group bus tours, and we have been just talking to them and ensuring that they know how to get in, how we get them into the Creation Museum and also to the Ark. Most of the tours are combining both. They're doing both Ark and Creation to include that so that they enjoy both facilities and also make it a destination, basically.
So have you seen much of an increase for September, October?
Oh gosh, compared to last year and even before that, of course we have our numbers are up and above. Here in the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's really pretty full. So bring them on. We're glad to have them. We want them in and enjoying the fun.
So I actually heard that one of the bus companies said too that this is the fastest growing demand they've had for attraction in many attractions, for tours to attractions in many years. Is that correct?
It's true. In fact, we have found that it usually takes about 18 months for a cycle of having these tours built in. But already they're finding their tours have already increased for next year, so we're already booking for next year.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So they're expecting an increase in bus tours. We had a lot of bus tours this year, hundreds of buses, in fact.
I know.
And what they're expecting a lot more for next year.
Yes, they said the second year is even higher. So woohoo! Bring them on.
Well, let's walk down through here. We've actually got our new parking lot open this morning. I noticed because we had to have a flow of traffic over there for the new parking lot. and we got a lot of cars coming in. I was trying to get out here to the parking lot outside of the office and then through the museum. There are people everywhere. You know, hey Mark, it's really interesting. Sometimes these atheists, they are, I don't know what it is. Are they obsessed by us, or are we their hobby, or I don't know what it is, but some of these atheists, they will go down, you know, at the Ark we have a 4,000 space parking lot, and of course we only, year, depends on the time of year, but this time of year we use about half of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the other half we built the whole thing for the future, but they'll show a picture of a blank, parking lot, no cars there, and then you can go inside the Ark and you can have 5,000 people in there and not see people.
Absolutely.
Because it's so big, and then they try to make out that nobody's coming. So Mark, what do you think?
Well, you said for them it's a hobby. It's actually more than that. They're more serious. They're trying to undermine biblical Christianity, and the success of the Ark and the museum have shown that there's great interest in the book of Genesis and in scriptural authority outside of creation evolution. It could be some of the social issues of the day. Yeah, it is frustrating when we get even some of our supporters contacting us, Ken, saying, I just saw this photo posted by an atheist and there were hardly any cars in the parking lot at the Ark, but that's a 4,000 spot parking lot.
Yeah.
It was built for the Ark
future.
Encounter for future expansion. It wasn't intended necessarily to fill with 4,000 cars. If you have 2,000 cars in that parking lot, that's probably representing
10,000 people.
Several thousand people. And then they might fly a drone near the property. And one of the photos that's making the rounds is someone took a photo from a drone of the Ark parking lot 45 minutes before the Ark opened to the public.
Yeah,
and that got distributed worldwide. So those are some of the things I have to deal with on a daily basis.
And most of these bus tours, Nancy, are not Christian bus tours. Is that correct?
Oh, you're correct. All of them are pretty much. We do have a lot of church buses, of course, bringing their churches, but most of the larger motor coaches,
Like the ones here today,
are secular.
secular. And
They've
there's more
heard
to
about
come
it.
today. They come in at different times and so on.
Yeah.
And we notice every day there's always more people at the Ark than there are at the Creation Museum. And today at the Creation Museum is crowded. So I imagine at the Ark there must be a lot of people there today, and a lot of buses there today too, because they tend to come on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
That's how the
Other
schedule
bus
is.
days.
Yeah, it makes sense for them, and it works well for us. So we make preparation for it.
And this is not a peak time of year for tourism either. I mean, really,
No.
the spring, the summer is all over. People are not travelling like they did, and yet here we are with a bumper month this September, and then even into October, right?
Yeah, this is normally the travel time for most bus tours pieces, though they've traveled all through the summer also. So we've had an uptick even during the summer, so it's all good.
And Mark, what about other tourist attractions? You know, for instance, I know that some of these bus tours take them to the Ark and the Museum, then I've heard the people tell me then they take them to the Newport Aquarium, the Freedom Center, the Cincinnati Zoo, to the Dayton Air Force Museum. I've heard a number of different things.
Yeah, in fact, I'm friends with many of the leaders of these tourist attractions, including the Newport Aquarium. They can't give specific attendance bumps, but they can say that their motor coach visits have increased dramatically this year because of the Ark and the museum, and even the BB riverboats, those beautiful riverboats that go up and down the Ohio River in front of the skyline of Cincinnati. They're reporting up to about a 20% increase in dinner cruise business. And also on the other side of the Ohio River in Cincinnati, our locations are in Kentucky. There's a banquet facility there called The Farm, and they're often busy in the evenings because of Ark guests coming from all over the country. They've reported an increase of 11,000 dinners already this year because of motor coach tours coming here for the Ark and the museum, and they're looking for a delicious evening buffet.
So this must be having a considerable impact on the economy in northern Kentucky, the tourist economy.
Well, in fact, earlier this year, we won a tourism award, the Star of Tourism Award, because not only are we bringing people into our two attractions, but they're staying longer. They're going to the Newport Aquarium, the Cincinnati Zoo, the Freedom Center. It's the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center in Cincinnati. I talked to them yesterday. They've actually recorded an increase in motor coach tours, and they admit it's because people are coming from churches all over the area. A lot of them are multi-ethnic churches, and they want to find out more about this Freedom Center in Cincinnati, but they're coming mostly to
the Ark
Ark
and the Creation
Museum.
Well, yeah, well, I thought it would just be good today. It's starting to rain a little bit. I'm getting a little damp out
Let's
here.
go to the Ark.
Let's go to the Ark, yeah. I thought it would be great just to do a Facebook Live because we had a number of buses here. Not all the buses are parked here at one time because they come and go at different times, but we have a considerable number here at the Creation Museum today, and there'll be a lot more down the Ark as well, and then they sort of go back and forth. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we end up with a tremendous number of bus tours, and particularly this month. What about Nancy? What about accommodation? Are you getting any calls about people finding it hard to get accommodation?
Oh yeah, constantly. In fact, we're always having to. People are always asking where to stay, and we always are saying, of course, with getting connection with our hotel provider, DAT Travel, and they can assist us with ensuring check-in availability for those hotel spots.
So I know that I anecdotally, meet a lot of people here at the museum and say some of them struggle to find rooms.
Yeah, they find themselves going up higher into Cincinnati because of the availability closer to the Ark and Creation Museum.
That's because 95% of people who come to the Ark and the Creation Museum are outside of Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and so they want to stay in hotel rooms, and a lot of them are staying more than they even thought they would. It's not just a day to do both attractions. A lot of people are spending a day at the Ark and 2 days at the Creation Museum.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot more people now have added a lot more things at the Ark too, saying they want to spend 2 days at each.
Yeah, there's a lot to see, but also plenty of things to see here in Cincinnati and also the surrounding area. So let's enjoy it. Bring your family to enjoy it, right? And also your fellow church mates, but also your tour buses.
So let's go down here and we'll just get a little sense of some of the crowd here at the Creation Museum today. The people lined up here for the planetarium program, and we see the buzz going on here in the main hall here today. And we'll see if we can make our way through here. Isn't it exciting? You see almost every day it's like this,
Well, and think about it. This is not a Friday or a Saturday, which is very, very busy. And we're out of the summer tourist season. It's exciting to see so many folks here. And again, Ken, I have to deal with people, even Christians, who are contacting us saying, should I bring my group here? And they've heard perhaps an atheist saying that no one's coming to the Creation Museum, it's going to be closing down. And so the negative reports that the atheists put out there, the false reports, actually could be hindering people coming here because they might believe the place is about to close down. But we're having our best year ever at the Creation Museum.
Yeah, it's and I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I am going to actually get on my own Facebook where this is actually showing live, and I'm going to see if anyone wants to ask any quick questions. They can do that. Let me see what people are saying here. Okay, so raining when we got there, had a wonderful visit to the Ark last week. Let's walk down this way a little bit, and can't wait to visit the Ark. I thought this is a good one. Atheism, the only religion where you spend all your time and money hating what you claim doesn't exist. Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Yeah, it is a good point. So let's go down here.
And atheism is a religion. We've written a number of articles on our website. I mean, it's a whole worldview that claims to know how everything came into existence. It's a non-theistic religious worldview.
So here you can see the people. This is the main entrance here to the walk-through part of the museum, and you can see people coming in here. So if anyone wants to ask me a question, they can do that. And somebody said, put your phone away and give us a tour. We're not going to give you a tour, but we can't do that. But what we wanted you to see was the people that are here, and I wanted you to hear from Nancy and from Mark. So Nancy, what are some of the most asked questions you get asked when people call in?
How long does it take to get through the Ark? How long does it take to get through the Creation Museum? We always want to ensure that we suggest that people take 2 separate days, of course, for the Ark and the Creation Museum.
Right. At least, at the very minimum.
Yeah.
Somebody said here, are there tourist packages for the museum?
Currently, there's not there's a hotel package that they can certainly contact our DAT Travel, which is our hotel provider.
And they go to, say, arkencounter.com or creationmuseum.org, and they can look up accommodation. It'll take them to DAT Travel.
They
correct?
certainly can, and that will also, there's some discounts in regards to going through that particular hotelier to be able to take care of hotels.
And so when they do that, they go direct to that site. But they can also go to creationmuseum.org and arkencounter.com and look for things to do in the area.
Absolutely.
And we have some of my favorite things listed on there. And then we have a map where they can look at all the different attractions in the area. And some of the ones that I like the National Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. It's free, by the way.
It's lovely.
And it's the biggest in the world.
I love it.
And I love it better than the Smithsonian.
Yes.
And it's a walk through World War I, World War II, and the space age. Then you have the Newport Aquarium, which is considered one of the better aquariums in America, right there on the Ohio River at
Exactly.
Newport. And the Freedom Center, which is to do with the race issue, right, and slavery and so on.
You know, also, I'm noticing just today, there are a number of people here wearing St. Louis Cardinals baseball jerseys.
Oh, okay.
The Cardinals are playing the Cincinnati Reds just about 20 miles away from here tonight.
I know.
So a lot of people are combining.
I'm
a
actually
visit to
gonna
the
be
museum. Yeah, with Brad, who is a Cardinals fan.
Taking our grandson who loves baseball.
That's Caleb, right?
Little Caleb, yeah. So somebody on here said, but I was going to add, by the way, the Kentucky Horse Park is another one of the favourites our grandkids like to go to. It's
probably only a 45-minute drive from the Ark, maybe even less.
Well, less from the Ark, probably 30 minutes. And it's the only horse park of its type in the world. So that's another great place to go. Somebody said here, wow, look at all the empty spaces. Nobody is coming. Of course, they got a smile on their face.
And think about it, this is a Tuesday in September.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Let's go for a walk back down here, down this way. Somebody said, love the Ark. Hi, where are you guys from? From Wisconsin. Yeah. You're on my Facebook right now. You're live. Did you know that? Yeah, you're live on TV. How's that?
Where
in
in Wisconsin are you from?
Near Eau Claire.
Did you bring any cheese for Ken today?
No cheese? I love cheese. You enjoy your time. You been to the Ark yet?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Ark? Good. It was good?
Great, yeah. Very well done.
Bigger than you thought it'd be?
Well, in person, yeah. So much better.
Well, great to have
Thank
you
you.
here. Enjoy your day.
I'm from Memphis area, and my husband's got a lot of your books.
Oh, okay.
He's a member of the Creation Research Society.
Oh, excellent. Is this your first time here?
First time here.
It's an amazing place, isn't
Right.
it?
Where'd you get that accent?
Australia.
That's what I thought.
Yep. Have you been to the Ark yet, or is that
We're
tomorrow?
going Thursday.
Thursday. Okay. Enjoy your day. All right, just come back down here and let's see what other people are saying here. Oh, someone's saying looking forward to Deaf Day next month. Mark, do you know a bit about Deaf Day?
Yeah, it's and we're having one each at the Ark Encounter and here at the Creation Museum. We'll have a number of people signing and also special lectures that will be signed. And it's turned into a wonderful outreach for people who typically would have difficulty coming to a museum like this. Although many of the videos here will have some captions, and so year-round people can certainly tour the Creation Museum if they're hearing impaired.
So somebody else saying children love the experience, and how easy is it to bring children to the Creation Museum in the Ark? Oh, the children just love the Creation Museum. You see people of all ages in here.
Well, we have the animatronic dinosaurs, which fascinate them because they move so realistically. The Special Effects Theater, which is just 10 feet away over here. And the gardens, the petting zoo.
Yep.
Oh, this is a very, very child-friendly museum.
And we have zip line courses at both places, actually, that kids and adults love. So it's, let me see, are there any exhibits in Braille? Actually, not yet, but we are looking at trying to do something in that regard. In fact, we're having a meeting about that very soon. We certainly have Deaf Day here, and we have people that do various translations, and I know you can listen in audio to Spanish as you go through the museum, and we're going to do that with the Ark very soon. So we're trying to do that sort of thing more and more. Let me see what other questions there are here. Somebody said, yay, Wisconsin. All praise to God, amazing. Someone said they went to the Ark and the museum this summer, and it was a great experience. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just walk out here again to the outside, and we'll finish up out here. But just give you a little sense of what it's like walking through the main hall here at the Creation Museum. and this is what it's like every day this month. You'd think it was summer, wouldn't you? You'd think it was spring break in summer.
Yeah, a lot of these motor coaches are coming outside of the summer months. And I mean, I've seen sometimes here at the museum up to 20 buses. Maybe you've seen more than I have in a day.
I've seen more than 30 here. Yeah, there's been up to 50 buses down at the Ark, while there's 30 or 40 buses up here. So let's.
Ken, I've seen buses even with license plates in Texas and all over
they,
Pennsylvania.
They come from all over.
It's not just a regional attraction; it's all over the country.
So
More
here we
rain,
go.
Ken.
Oh, look, they're getting my lunch ready over there. Hot dogs.
You don't eat hot dogs after you speak publicly against hot dogs, don't you?
No, I don't speak publicly.
Well, you
against
make a
hot
joke
dogs.
about it.
So-
That whatever's left over from the animal, it's thrown together into a hot dog.
Someone asked how far apart the Ark and Museum are. 45 minutes apart. You notice it wasn't just people with tags around their neck. You can tell it with the bus tours, but there are a lot of families in there too, and a lot of young children in there.
Yeah, I'm surprised
as
how many
well.
license plates I see of cars from California, Washington, as I said earlier, some friends visiting from Idaho. This has become a national, indeed an international destination.
Okay, well, I thought you'd just like to see that little tour through the museum today. Thanks, Nancy, for being with us today. And you got to get back to your desk. Do you get many calls today?
Oh yeah, in fact I got a meeting. I skipped a little bit for you.
Oh, okay.
In the
Well,
most
you go.
loving way.
You go. And Mark, thanks for meeting. You're going to get to a meeting, or you've been to a meeting today.
I got to get
already.
out of the rain. That's
Oh,
what
we got to get out. Yeah, we got to get out of the rain. Okay, it's raining today, but they said it's only showers, so it'll be fine. It'll pass over. Okay, come and visit. Go to creationmuseum.org, arkencounter.com. Enjoying all the thousands that come. And I'm going to do, within the next week or so, a special Facebook Live on our amazing Christmas programs. Christmas time at the Ark. We're going to reveal to you something stunning that's going to happen there, December and into January. And then Christmas Town at the Creation Museum. But that'll be in a week or so. We'll do a special Facebook Live for that. So you all have a great day.